Hey guys, it's Lindsay from Wannabe KY Homesteaders. So today we are working inside. I have neglected cleaning the inside of my house for far too long, and since we can and we eat a lot in here, obviously, I'm gonna get it cleaned up. So I'm breaking this into 3 different days just so it's a little bit easier, and I'm not trying to do it all in one day because that would be a lot. I'm not gonna call this a deep clean, but it's definitely gonna be more thorough than like a weekly reset for us. I'm gonna be dusting higher up as well as wiping down some of the walls just so it's cleaner. We do have pets. I want to stay clean, especially since we're canning and we have a lot more left to can. But I just kind of needed a little bit of a break outside, just kind of one little weekend to work inside, get it all put back together, and then we'll be right back to working outside and canning some more. So I'm gonna give you a little tour of everything, kind of how it's at right now. Again, I'm breaking this into 3 different days just so it's not all in one day or all weekend long. So then that way I can do a little bit every day and hopefully it will be a little bit more bearable. So we got our primary bathroom in here. Not horrible. Shower definitely needs a good clean though. Starting to get a little grimy around the drain. So primary bedroom, not too bad. I am gonna take both of our rugs to the laundromat and get those washed just because I have the big washers. So this is the main room I'm going to focus in today. And again, I'm also going to do up higher, but you know, it's just things like extra laundry that I actually need to put up instead of just piling onto our bed. So here is the guest bathroom. Really not too bad, but again, just kind of needs a good overall cleaning. So got our entryway, which is not bad. Everything through here is not too bad. My main goal every day is to pick up clutter and take out all the trash, which I think is gonna help me. So the kitchen definitely is, you can't tell it, but it feels like it's just kind of grimy. I mean, I know it's really not, but I wanna clean it really well. I wanna keep it clean. Just because again we are canning. Little coffee bar area. So our laundry room needs a good cleaning as well. So here is my office. So typically I use my little Bona, whatever you want to say, floor pad, and it does a pretty good job, but I feel like sometimes I just need to actually mop the floors just so they're clean. So, and just a really good vacuuming and dusting in here just so everything stays nice and clean, because this is also my workspace. I keep up with the litter boxes. I scoop them twice a day and they get bleached out once a month. So I'm not necessarily going to worry about that step, but I do want to clean underneath them and stuff really well. So here is our catch-all room. It definitely needs a really good cleaning. So this fall we are getting a dumpster, and we're gonna clean out just bunches of stuff, and hopefully with that we will have a little bit more room in here with some of the stuff we're getting rid of. Most of the stuff is outside that we're getting rid of though, but again, it'll just kind of help clean up this area. And I have made a small list of everything I am trying to accomplish this weekend, just to make it a little bit easier to keep track of. And if I have more time or more energy, I will definitely do extra. All right, I guess I'm just calling this my big clean. At least that's what I had an idea for. So every day I'm going to collect all trash and pick up the clutter. So I'm going to start doing that, and then I'm going to get started in the guest bedroom putting up all that laundry, and then taking out everything that I need to wash. So let's get to it. So every time I'm filming, like while I'm doing all this laundry, I'm like, oh, I could say all these things, it'd be super funny, it'd be catchy. And then by the time I'm actually doing my voiceover, like I remember none of it and I don't have anything great to say. So I figured I would do a little bit of a get to know me. So I grew up in a super small town in Kentucky. I went to middle school, high school, and college, all in the same county. So I did not stray far. I always had these dreams of becoming a professional horse trainer and working with horses. I essentially wanted to work in the prison system and do equine therapy for the inmates. Obviously that's not what I'm doing now, and I am very thankful that's not what I'm doing now, because I learned when it's super cold and nasty outside, someone still has to take care of the horses, and maybe if I lived in a warmer climate I'd want to do it more often and be out with them more, but I just decided I did not want to be outside when it's super cold and nasty. So I did not go forward with that. I did study psychology when I went to college, and I was like, well, I'll just be a forensic psychologist. I'm going to work in that prison system. I'm going to make a huge difference. Long story short, I ended up getting a job at a small little county jail, and it was just not for me. I did it for a while. I had, I guess, rank is what you would call it. Like, I was a supervisor, basically, like a shift manager is all that I was. And it just wasn't for me. So I decided, I'm gonna switch to healthcare, learn that healthcare isn't for me. So now I have a job that's kind of like healthcare, it partners with it essentially, and I work from home, and I love what I do. It's very detail oriented, and it works great for my schedule and what I want to do, so I'm able to stay home. I can pretty much make my own hours within reason, so it provides me a lot of extra time to work on things like the garden or around the house with the chickens. So I'm super blessed to have that opportunity, and I am very thankful that I do. So, and that is how I have some extra time to try out this entire YouTube thing. So, fun fact about me, I still really, really love horses. I owned a horse throughout most of my college career. She unfortunately passed away a few years after college, and I never got another horse. It just never quite felt the same. They say whenever you have your heart horse, you're never really going to find it again. And that, I think, is, I've never tried to find it again, so I guess I don't really know if that's a true statement or not. Maybe at some point I would love to have another horse, but they are very time consuming, they are very expensive, and the cheapest thing about getting a horse is buying a horse. There's no such thing as a free horse. It does not matter how low maintenance that a horse is, they are expensive. So, and that's just not something that I want to spend money on right now. Maybe one day in the future. So currently, I'm really enjoying chickens and gardening, and just kind of learning some new trades like canning and such. So no horses for the foreseeable future. I still definitely enjoy them. I love watching videos and pictures of training, dressage, and the Liberty training. So I did the vaulting, which is gymnastics and dance on horseback. Well, I wasn't the person on the horse, I was the person in the middle controlling the horse. So the kiddos and the vaulters could have fun and learn and have a good time. So I definitely do not regret any of that. I enjoyed it. I learned a lot from it, and I had the opportunity to meet many amazing people in the horse industry and work well with a lot of them. So, but I was so convinced growing up that I was going to become like just this ultimate horse trainer and be fabulous and amazing. I volunteered every single summer at a horse camp. So, like, I did not physically, take lessons at this camp or anything. It was like I was so eager to learn and want to be around horses that I just literally volunteered pretty much all my waking time, any time that I could, to learning more about it. It wasn't just about like the riding for me. I just wanted to be around horses. I wanted to learn how to take care of them, learn what they needed, like food, nutrition. So that spilled over into college, and that is also one of my degrees. So while I also have a psychology degree, I also have a degree in equine management. So I am super proud to say I use neither of those degrees. and I spent a lot of money on college that I definitely did not need to spend, especially like with the job I'm in now. I don't have to have a college degree. So I've been trying to think of like just other things I can tell you about myself, but I really don't have a whole lot. I volunteer with a TNR program to trap and fix feral cats local around us. I do that like once a week. I've been really enjoying that, and basically I stay home. So I did want to talk about how I clean my walls. So I only have enough water on that mop to where it's like tacky, so then that way it's not actually making the wall wet, because I feel like it's called drywall for a reason. It's not a wet wall. So drywall, I basically just do it enough to where the dust and anything that happens to get like splashed on the wall or dirty handprints, cat prints, whatever it may be, off the wall. And I love the smell of that Gain. I use the Gain smell for our clothes. And then obviously with all this stuff that I'm mopping the walls with, as well as what I'm going to mop the floors with. I just love the way it smells. I feel like it's fresh and clean smelling to me. I don't typically use a lot of scented stuff. So like our detergent is unscented. Everything I wash our towels in is unscented. Scent beads for our clothes is it. So, but you gotta enjoy it while you can, or when you can, because I don't want to spend too much money on that kind of stuff. Especially when I could spend more money on another chicken or a plant, which is really not what I need, but that's what I like to spend my money on these days. So another fun fact about me in high school is I was huge in FFA. Like, I absolutely loved it. I adored it. I would have never told you that I like plants in high school. I always kind of liked them. My mom was like a huge plant enthusiast, had bunches of them, always had a super productive garden and everything. And I just was like, no, horses. I want horses. I don't care about plants. Plants mean nothing. I don't need them. Don't want them. But here I am now, and I swear I'm the same person as my mom. She's not quite obsessive when it comes to cleaning her walls, we could say, but she definitely, I get the plant gene from her. I think I get my love for animals from her as well. So we've always taken in animals that are typically unwanted by other people or don't have homes. Majority of the cats we have now were ferals that I tried to give homes to, but like see if anyone would want them for barn cats and stuff, and no one wanted them, and I wasn't going to let them go without, so thus we have 8 cats. Granted, they're not all inside all the time. I make them go outside and do cat things and make sure there's no mice in our chicken run or chicken coop, and they do cat things outside, so that helps me out. I do have 2 full-time indoor kitties. One's 14, or actually no, he's 15 years old now. His name's Moo. He's my first ever bottle baby. Had him in high school. Not trying to give away my age or anything here, but you can see him laying on the couch there. So he's 15. He does nothing. I mean, he sleeps, he eats, and that's it. And then we have Toby. He is our other full-time indoor kitty, and he is a total drama queen. He will not go outside. He's terrified of the outside. We have a pet stroller. He will not even go outside in the pet stroller. So that's probably way more than you wanted to know about our critters, but we have bunches of critters. And I did have someone ask me on TikTok, yes, every single one of our chickens have a name. I swear they all know their names. They all have different personalities, and pretty much majority of our chickens we can pick up without issue. There's a few of them that are pretty flighty and don't like it, but for the most part, they all come running up. They all want snacks. They all want attention. They're kind of like little lap dogs, or lap cats, I guess is probably a more accurate thing for us to say. So one thing that I enjoy doing in my free time is, besides watching YouTube, which we do a lot of, we have our channels that we pretty much watch every week. I enjoy crochet, so I really got into that this year, entered a few things into the fair, made lots of blankets for people. Basically everyone I know is going to get a blanket because I like to crochet, I like to make them, so it gives me something to do when it's cool outside or just sitting and relaxing. I am diagnosed PTSD, generalized anxiety disorder, and OCD. So OCD is an anxiety-based disorder, and I have a very, very hard time holding still. So some people are like, oh, you're ADHD. It's like, no. I've been in therapy and talked to psychologists and psychiatrists, and I also own a copy of the DSM-5. Granted, I can't diagnose people, but I do pretty good at self-reflection. I'm not ADHD. I am just so driven to the point of I cannot hold still, and I will obsess about something if I feel like it's not cleaned, not done, until I get it done. I can't turn it off. It does not matter. And like a big thing is making sure everyone else is taken care of before myself. This is something I've struggled with my entire life. Granted, I'm getting better at it now, so definitely with the help of therapy, it's gotten a lot better. So, but that's just kind of a tidbit about me. I am sure kind of, as you watch my videos, you'll see more of my quirky personality. So if you ever meet me in person, I am just super painfully awkward and weird, and I laugh at super inappropriate things. I think that kind of comes from working in corrections. You just kind of have a very poor sense of humor after a while. A lot of people that work in public service also have that. So I would like to think it's not too far out of the ordinary, but typically I can keep my horrible sense of humor to myself. So I hope you stick with this video. I'm not going to jump on the end here. I love ASMR videos and love the sounds, and I just love a good before and after. I really love watching these cleaning videos on YouTube, so that was my inspiration and motivation for this video. So I hope you stick around and see the very end to see the transformations, and also enjoy all of those water dumps. I typically only use that Bana, whatever you want to say, mop, and I am now convinced that it does not do a good job, and I probably need to use that a little bit less and actually mop my floors. So thank you guys for joining me, and I hope to see you at the end of the video.
Copy that. They came back home? Oh, sorry.